Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? We went live earlier for Dallas Cowboys Uncut, me, West, and Landlord. And we were supposed to talk about the Dallas Cowboys versus Raiders preseason game finale, but we don't really care about that game, right? Nobody does. The Dallas Cowboys don't even care about that game. They're holding out key players. There's guys who are key backups they're thinking about holding out. There's reports that Jalen Tolbert may not play, reports that Deuce Vaughn may not play. They're trying to weigh their options on who's going to actually take the field. So listen, if they don't give a damn, I don't either. So we're going to move all the way ahead in time. We're going to skip forward a couple weeks, and we're going to take an early look at the Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants. Right, I know it's a long way off, but listen, the Dallas Cowboys are already preparing for week one. Dak Prescott said himself they are already preparing for the New York Football Giants. So we're going to prepare for the New York Football Giants, right? We're going to take the same amount of time and diligence that the team is. We're going to break this team down. We're going to look at what they did last year, look at their personnel, look at where they rank statistically overall, and we're going to try and come up with a way that we want to attack this team. Of course, there will be slight variance and everything else, but y'all will get the general gist of this. I brought numbers, I showed my work, so it'll be a good show, man. I got about an hour and some change to give y'all good people. So y'all know the usual rules and regulations when y'all tap in with me in the liquor store. First and foremost, man, I need you to hit that like button. The more likes the video get on YouTube, the more that YouTube will promote it. So if you really rock with your boy Hennythemoor and you want us to grow over here and do good things in the future, hit that like button. It ain't gonna cost you a dime, and it'll greatly help the channel grow. So hit that like button, right? Hey, DP Johnson, part of the Rich Gang, I see you. King G in the building as well, and my boy Justin Kitchen, part of the Rich Gang. Salute to all y'all good people for tapping into the liquor store, man. I see y'all already lining up for your boy. I appreciate you. So yeah, man, you hit that like button first. After you hit that like button, I need you to back door and hit that share button. And listen, we are practicing manifestation inside the liquor store. It's been too long. We got to manifest this 6th championship for the 2023 season. So I know you can't like it 6 times, but you can share it 6 times. You can share it to 6 different social media platforms, 6 different Facebook groups, 6 different group chats, don't matter. Drop 6 emojis like my boy Michael Autry did. My boy dropped the 6 volcanoes. So we rocking out like that, going crazy. Salute to my boy. Drop 6 championships, right? Drop 6 stars, 6 shot glasses, right? Whatever you do, we're doing nothing but 6s inside the liquor store, man. So what's good with y'all? But thank you for tapping in with us, Michael. Joe, what's up with you? My boy said, what's up, Hennythemoor, the liquor store? I'm sharing your video and pushing the like button. Slap Eagle fan so hard his false teeth flew out. And listen, if you eat raw shit, odds are your teeth is going to fall out your mouth. Your teeth are going to commit suicide eventually. So, there are a lot of Eagles fans with bad teeth because, a part of their diet is raw horse dookie. So, if you slap the false teeth out their mouth, they just need to go get better veneers. They need to go get something better. So, yeah, man. So, hey, that brings us to our next point. You done hit that like button. You done hit that share button. I need you to turn right back around and hit that Eagles fan upside the head. Because if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And, we got exactly what you need to succeed, man. We got Cowboy Readers. We got Hen. We got Gin. And everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in and come get drunk with your boy Hennythemoor inside the liquor store, man. Yo, what's up with you, Jasmine? I see you. My boy Willie, what's up? He said, what's up, HTM? I have to come back to the store to get drunk off Cowboys info. Hey, we sure gonna be rocking out getting drunk, man. Like I said, so yeah. And hey, after you do all that, man, you still got the energy because you already done hit that like, you already done hit that share, you done cocked your hand back and slapped the shit out of Eagles fan, man. You still got the energy, hit that cash app or hit that super chat, man. So we are going to be raffling off a Dallas Cowboy jacket or a pullover. And the winner will get to decide, what they want. Do you want a new era one? Do you want a starter one? Do you want an official team jacket? It don't matter. If you win, just let me know the brand, the size, and the color. I'll make that happen for you. It's $5 per entry. You can send it by Cash App, which is $Hennythemoor, or you can send it through the super chat or the super stickers. So $5, and we're gonna wrap it up on September the 2nd. So if I'm not mistaken, you got about 8 days, right? Because a week from today is the first, and then on September the 2nd is a Saturday. So you got 8 days. You got 8 days to get them in. Said Dirty Sanchez, hey New York, you have a date with Dallas Cowboys Alpha Dogs next week. Oh yeah, they coming, chumps. Well, it's really about 18 days, if I'm not mistaken. It's really about 3 weeks. I wish it was sooner, but the Dallas Cowboys don't play them boys until the 10th. Right? So yeah, they don't play them boys till the 10th. So it's still a while off. But the Dallas Cowboys are using this extra time to get extra prepared, and so we will too, man. So now that we got everything out the way, everybody then, hit the like, hit the share, hit that Eagles fan. Right. Now we can move along and we can what was this? Oh. So now we can move along, man. We can jump into the content, man. So I am the numbers guy. So when we come in here to the liquor store, man, we're gonna talk nothing but numbers, right? We're gonna talk about them numbers. So, of course, I got some stuff planned for y'all. So, if you can see what I see right here, I put these numbers together. These are the statistics for the New York Football Giants from the 2022 season. Right? So, this is how they ended the regular season. Right? So, and this is where I like to start for teams right at the beginning. Right? Over the course of the 2023 season, where there's new information, new analytical data about how teams are performing, we'll use that. But right now, going fresh into a season opener, we're going to use the numbers from last year, and then we'll also talk about the personnel that they added to see if there will be a marginal change, no change, or a big change in their ability to either score or defend a certain aspect. So, no, that's how we're going to rock right now. So, for the 2022 season, right? If you look out here at the offensive numbers for the New York Football Giants, they were not a great offensive team, right? So in terms of yards per game, this is passing and rushing rushing yards combined. Yo, what's up with you, man? I see y'all in here, man. Dallas Law 43, James Simmons, DP. What's up with y'all, man? Thank y'all for tapping in. Yeah, what's up, Dirty Sanchez? Yeah, it's a stay of execution, man. You're right. They got to push back a little bit, but they still gonna get whacked. They still finna get whacked. All right. So in terms of overall yardage, the New York Giants were 18th in the entire NFL. There's only 32 teams, so there were 17 teams that allowed yet less yardage per game than the New York Giants. So altogether, they averaged about 333.9 yards a game. So you might as well say 334 yards a game, right? And that's total passing and total rushing yards combined. So not very great in their ability to defend overall, right? And we go even further. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is offense. So not very great in their overall offensive numbers. I'm tripping. So they didn't run the ball at a high. They ran the ball at a high level, but their passing game is really what brought them down, right? You see the disparity in between their passing attack and their rushing attack. It's night and day. If you look at their passing attack, the New York Giants were 26th overall in total passing yardage in a 17-game season. As a team, right, this is even counting if they went out there and ran trick plays and the running back or wide receiver threw the ball. Combined, they were only 26th in the National Football League and only threw for 3,157 yards on the season. Yo, what's up with you, Miss Regina Green? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. So you look at that, there were 25 teams that had a better passing offense. 25 teams had a better passing offense than the New York Football Giants. So we will be doing class participation. So everybody in the chat box, put 25 in the chat box. Because there were 25 teams that were a better passing team than the Giants. Now, I get it. There will be people that say, hey, it was mostly a run first offense. They had limited skill position players, right? They can say all those things. But at the end of the day, there were still 25 teams last year that were better throwing the ball than the Giants. All right, so I see my boy Joe is participating, DP Johnson participating, Justin Kitchen, Michael Itry, my boy Willie. All right, salute to y'all, Miss Regina Green. All right, so we can say they were not a good passing team last year. Yo, Mr. Richburg, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love. I see you dropped your 25. Dirty Sanchez, I see you dropped your 25 as well, my boy. I appreciate you. So yeah, so they weren't a good. Either way you slice it. I didn't even bother putting up the passing touchdown because we all know that Daniel Jones only had 15 passing touchdowns last year. Right, so they were not a great offensive team in terms of moving the ball through the air. Granted, I will give them the excuse of they didn't have a number one wide receiver. They had very limited guys out there at the skill position players. I get that, but at the end of the day, they weren't good in that aspect at all. So you move forward, passing yards per game is also 26. They could not even eclipse the 200-yard mark. Right. They averaged 185.7 yards per game through the air. Right. So, again, there was another 25 teams that passed for more yards a game. Right. So, 26th in passing yards for the season and 26 in passing yards per game, in 2022. So, we all can come to an agreement that in terms of moving the ball vertically or through the air, the New York Giants suffered. They could not do it. They could not do it at a consistent level. But what I will give them credit for is their rushing game. Right? So we have to be honest about some things. I never like giving credit to a rival, to a divisional foe. But when it comes to rushing the football, there were not many teams that were better. And because of their rushing attack, they were able, to get away with not having competent skill position players. They were able to get away with their quarterback only throwing 15 passing touchdowns. There were only 3 teams in the NFL that ran the ball better than the Giants did in 2022. Right? So the same way that we dropped the 25s in there, we begrudgingly will drop 3. So I need y'all to drop 3 in the chat box for me. There were only 3 teams that ran the ball, better than the Giants did last year. So go ahead and drop the 3s in the chat box. Just as horrible as they were in the passing game, I will give them credit for what they did on their ground, right? And listen, this is part of the course for who Brian Daboll is. For y'all who are not familiar with the New York Giants head coach and play caller, right? Brian Daboll was the guy who had Josh Allen in these MVP discussions. He is the guy that unlocked Josh Allen. So we all know that Josh Allen is a big athletic quarterback with a strong arm, but he's very mobile. So Brian Daboll was the one, whose offense, got them to AFC Championship game, got them, within a possession of going to another AFC Championship game. He's the architect of that. So it's not really a surprise, right, when you see the rushing numbers, because Daniel Jones is very involved in the New York Giants rushing attack. Right, Daniel Jones, and really when you think about it, man, Daniel Jones is like a discount wish version of Josh Allen. Nowhere near the athlete that he is, nowhere near the arm talent that he has. But, he utilizes him the same way that he utilizes Josh Allen when he had him in Buffalo. Right, he utilized him the same way. So Daniel Jones will run quarterback power. He will do RPO stuff. He will, make plays, out of structure, run down the field, make plays. So I will give Brian Daboll credit. Even with a lesser quarterback and lesser talent, he still found a way to generate positive offense, even if it was only mainly on the ground. Right, we know that they struggled through the air. He still was able to win, have a winning record, and he was still able to go on the road and win a playoff game. So we're being fair to the Giants, right? They were a wild card team. We were a wild card team. They won one road playoff game. We won one road playoff game. So in terms of what they were able to accomplish, right? I'm not saying that they were a better team than us because we whooped that ass. We whooped that ass with Cooper Rush. We whooped that ass with Dak Prescott. But in terms of what that team as a whole accomplished, they got just as far as we did. And, they did it with less offensive talent. So I will give Brian Daboll his flower. He is a very good head coach. He's a very good head coach. Right. So schematically, right, there are some things that they do very well. But when you look at Daniel Jones, like I said, he is a discount. I'm stop talking crazy about these guys, but he really is a discount version of Josh Allen. Let me get his numbers pulled up real quick. Cause I don't want y'all to think that I'm wilding out. I don't want y'all to think that I'm tripping. So when you look at his rushing numbers from last year, right? Daniel Jones had 120 carries, 708 yards, was a career high for him. Before then, the most yards he ever rushed for in a season was 423. But he rushed for over 700 yards in Brian Daboll's offense. Averaged 5.9 yards a carry. And he also added in 7 rushing touchdowns, right? So while he was pedestrian through the air, he was excellent, as a rushing quarterback. Eastside Harold, what's up with you, man? He my favorite Cowboys fan, man. He always in here, always showing love, always supporting. But I thank you, man. But if anything happens, I will let you know. I will let you know. We should have started in that divisional round if they didn't lose to Jacksonville and Green Bay. Yeah, that's definitely Hennythemoor fault. We had opportunities to win our division, but it slipped away. And I really can't cry over spilt milk, but it is the way of the world. It is the way of the world. Yo, JJ the Mind, Ski, what's up with you, my boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, my guy. Salute to you. Hey, make sure you hit that like and share on your way in, my guy. I appreciate you. Right, so they rushed for the 4th most yards as a team in the NFL. Also, rushing yards per game, also the 4th most. They averaged 148.2 yards per game on the ground, right? And let's put that into proper perspective, right? Let's put that into proper perspective in terms of what they did. The Philadelphia Eagles, right, only rushed for 147. We know that they ran the hell out the ball. Us, the Dallas Cowboys, who had a 2-headed monster with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, only rushed for 135.2 yards a game. The San Francisco 49ers, who we know who run the hell out the ball, only averaged 138.8 yards per game. So the Giants, in terms of rushing the football, right, were even better than us and the 49ers. They were even better than the Bills. We know how big of a rushing attack they are when they utilize Josh Allen, right? The only teams that ran the ball more than them is the Atlanta Falcons, who had a running quarterback in Marcus Mariota, the Baltimore Ravens, who have a running quarterback in Lamar Jackson, and the Chicago Bears, who have a super dynamic running quarterback in terms of Justin Fields. Outside of those 3 teams, right, the Giants ran more than everybody, ran the ball more effectively than everybody else in terms of yards per game. But this is the one thing, right? We talked about what they did in terms of yardage, right, for passing and yardage for rushing. Hey, what's up with you, Miss Patrice? 4 Flats. They were stopping by and showing love to the liquor store. Triple D, what's up with you, man? I see you. I see y'all rocking with me. So in terms of actually scoring, right, that's where they struggled, right? So they were in the middle of the pack, literally. There's 32 teams in the NFL. They were 16th in terms of scoring offense. They only averaged 21.5 points per game. So, if you round that up, it's about 22 points per game. It's about 22 points per game. But, again, let's have some class participation. That's not really much. That's 15 teams in the NFL who allowed less points per game. So let's have a little bit more clap participation. I need everybody to drop the number 15 in the chat box. That's how many more teams, you know, were better in scoring defense than them, including us, the Dallas Cowboys, the 49ers, the Eagles. Like, there are plenty of teams, right? Every team, actually, even the Commanders had a better scoring defense than the New York Giants. So they were actually, in terms of points per game, the worst, team in the division in terms of allowing points. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, 22 points per game is not a lot of points. It's not. But, when you factor in the fact, they can't score either, right? When you factor in, when you factor in, I'm tripping, points per game offense. Okay. I don't know why I keep trying to convert this into defense in my mind. But, yeah, they only scored 21.5 points per game. So they didn't put the ball in the end zone. They didn't score when needed. They settled for a lot of field goals. Those were the things that happened with the New York Giants. They couldn't finish. They couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And think about it from this perspective. Even if you count Daniel Jones rushing touchdowns, well, he only scored 22 touchdowns in a 17-game season. Dak Prescott scored 24 in 12 games. Right, Dak Prescott scored 24 touchdowns, combined in 12 games. Daniel Jones scored 22 in 17. So of course, they had trouble scoring when your quarterback, can't help you finish drives, right? So we talked about the offensive numbers, right? We talked about the offensive numbers. I do got the defensive numbers too. I like looking at the statistics going into the first game of the season because the statistics will actually show you, what they needed and if they actually went out there and tried to address that position. Well, they struggled throwing the football. Well, they didn't change quarterbacks. So if you don't change out the quarterback, what you have to do is improve the weapons and the personnel that are around him. So since they kept Daniel Jones, one would think in order to improve for being the 26th ranked passing offense, they would have to go out and add offensive weapons. Well, they did, right? They did. So let me get this pulled up, the guys that they added in free agency. And we're going to have an honest conversation if they are a better offensive unit than they were in 2022 going into 2023. All right, so for one, all right, let me pull this up. It said they were like middle of the pack in scoring, more on the struggling end. Yeah, they weren't great. They weren't great. All right, so one of the offensive moves that they made is they added Jamison Crowder. All right, Jamison Crowder is not a super great wide receiver by any means. Right, if y'all aren't familiar with who Jamison Crowder is, Jamison Crowder is now 30 years old. He was a former, let me see. Let me get this right. He is a former 4th round pick by the Washington Redskins when they were still the Redskins back in 2015. 5'8", 174 pounds. And for his career, he has 4,667 yards, 28 touchdowns. He's played on 4 different teams at this point. Never had a 1,000-yard season. Only accounted for 60 yards last year with the Buffalo Bills. Best season was all the way back in 2016, where he had 847 yards and 7 touchdowns. Right, so that's who he is. He's not a super elite wide receiver by any means, but he is one of the wide receivers that they added. Craig Lofkin, what's up with you, my boy? JC Cowboys Network, what's good with you, man? They've been tapping in and showing love to the channel. Hey, man, make sure you hit that like for your boy. Make sure you hit that like and that share for your boy, man. All right, so they did add that, in terms of a passing weapon. All right, so they also went out there and added Tommy Sweeney, who was a tight end that they signed on a 1-year deal. Right, so Tommy Sweeney, he's nobody's special either. Right, it's not like Tommy Sweeney is a household name. I didn't even know they picked the boy up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who this kid is. Right, like he's a rookie anyway. You know what I'm saying? No, he ain't no rookie. Let me see. Came in 2019, only has one career touchdown, only has 26 targets and 18 catches. So he's not nobody to move the needle. The person that we really need to be talking about is Darren Waller. But that's the boy that they went out there and acquired. That is the guy that they are planning to probably feature the most in this new look offense in terms of that. So let's just scroll down a little bit. So this is the person that we need to be on the watch for, Darren Waller. Right, Darren Waller is a former Pro Bowl tight end with the Las Vegas Raiders. Right, and he's a super athlete, man. Like Darren Waller is a superb player. Outside of injuries, which really have slowed him down, he's been a very productive player. In 2019, he busted on the scene his 4th year, had 1,145 yards and 3 touchdowns. The year after that, he had 1,196 yards and 9 touchdowns. He solidified himself. 2021, only appeared in 11 games, but still put up 665 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So Darren Waller, man, when we're talking about him, he is a guy that is probably a game changer. Like I know, that we got somebody on the team for him, right? I know what we've seen from J-Ron Curse in terms of slowing down elite tight ends. I know, that J-Ron Curse has taken Travis Kelce out of games. I know that he's taken Kittle out of games. He's locked down better tight ends than Darren Waller. But what I will not sit here and do, right? What I will not sit here and do is not respect his game, right? Because like my boy Roy says, if he's healthy, he's a problem. Because he's basically a big ass wide receiver. In terms of what he does at elite level, right? He gets separation. He's very explosive. He's a big playmaker. He's a big playmaker. So I'm not saying that I'm concerned, wholly about him. But he is a decent player. He is an improvement. He does help their team, right? So that's one guy that they brought in, to try and fix their woeful passing offense. Remember, they were 26. Paris Campbell. This is a very interesting player. If y'all think this name sounds familiar, before the Dallas Cowboys went out and traded for Brandon Cooks, Paris Campbell was one of the players that we looked at. Because remember, usually the Dallas Cowboys go bargain bin shopping. They usually go bargain bin shopping and try and find, injured players or older players and get them at a discount, right? They like going shopping at TJ Maxx. They try to hit the clearance racks. It's Polo, but this Polo been out for the last 6-7 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the Dallas Cowboys usually do what they shopping. So if you are familiar with the name of Paris Campbell, he is somebody that me, and other guys looked at when free agency first started. We expected the Dallas Cowboys to go the cheap route. We didn't expect them to make a trade for Brandon Cooks happen. But in terms of Paris Campbell, he is a 4.3 guy. He's very fast. Right? That's one of the reasons why I wanted him. The issue with Paris Campbell is, man, he has not been healthy. You know what I'm saying? He only played 7 games in 2019. He only played 2 games in 2020. He only played 6 games in 2021. Last year was his first year being healthy, and he did not have a quarterback. Like Matt Ryan should have retired. Nick Foles, he's about 3 years too late from retiring. He should have been out. But, in his best season, he had 91 targets, 63 catches, 623 yards, averaged 9 yards a catch, 3 touchdowns, and his season long, right? Let me see what his long was. And he had a long of 49. So again, like he's not a world beater, but he is a guy that adds speed, right? They add speed. So they used that. They used him. So we look at some of the primary guys that they added. Darren Waller is definitely a guy that they added. They retained Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is a 4-3 guy as well, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Jeff Smith. I'm reading on here. He's a 4-3-4 guy. Right. So they added speed. I'm not sure if a lot of these guys are super uber talented, but they added some pretty decent pass catchers, right? So they re-signed, they re-signed the boy Slade. They re-signed Shepard, who was injured last year. So they went out their way to try and give Daniel Jones some decent weapons. They went out their way to try and get, him some decent weapons. Cole Beasley, right? He's another guy that they picked up. So they picked up Cole Beasley. They picked up Pierce Campbell. They picked up Darren Waller, right? They went out their way to try and not be the 26 passing offense again. Now, do I think that Daniel Jones is going to go out here and throw for 400 yards against our defense and our pass rush? Hell no. Hell no. That's the farthest thing from my mind. Yes, the New York Giants signed Cole Beasley. But do I think that they're a better team than they were offensively in terms of their skill position players? Yeah. They are a much better team, on August the 25th, 2023 than they were, when they ended the last season. All right, so they are a better, team personnel-wise. They are a better team personnel-wise. All right, so they did do some things to fix, that overall offense. They did. So far, right, let's ask the question. He said, hold on. I said, I can't believe what I'm reading in the chat. Y'all really believe in these so-called weapons? LOL, man, we about to dog walk these boys. Now, listen, I believe we'll win. I definitely believe that we'll win the game. But, we also have to be, honest about what's going out there. Well, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not a better team. Yeah, that probably would be the one thing that will hold them back. But listen, I think Dak Prescott can go crazy with the offense they got. We swapped out Dak Prescott for Daniel Jones, and he had a healthy Darren Waller. He had his guy Cole Beasley. He had all these other components and a Saquon Barkley. I think Dak Prescott would have went out there and went crazy with this same team, right? But Daniel Jones is the question mark. Like Daniel Jones has not shown that he is a great quarterback yet. Right, 15 touchdowns through the air is what he had. Right, 7 touchdowns on the ground. So the man accounted for 22 touchdowns. He has not shown that he's a top 10 quarterback. He has not shown that he can take advantage of the personnel that's around him. Right, he hasn't shown that yet. Could Daniel Jones step up and develop to a better player this year? Possibly. But right now he's still an unknown. So that's why I have us winning this game, probably pretty easily. Because at the end of the day, even with what they added to this offense, it's week 1. They haven't really played with each other like that. They're going up against one of the best defenses in the National Football League, right? So I'm not sure that they'll be able to go out there, and I'm not sure they'll be able to go out there and walk up and down the field against us. We're too good. I'll take my defense against anybody. I'll take my defense against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll take my defense against the Eagles. I'll take my defense, against some heavy hitters. So, I'm not really concerned about, Daniel Jones and Darren Waller and Paris Campbell and guys like that. And y'all did throw a name out there, Hyatt, who they added in the draft. He's a very fast guy. Big play wide receiver out of Tennessee. He's probably best known for the huge game he had against Alabama. But, they did improve. Like, one thing I can't sit here and say that they did not, do everything humanly possible to try and help Daniel Jones for the 2023 season. All right, but that's enough of that. That's enough of us talking about their offense. Because there's always two sides of the ball. And before y'all even say anything, I never get on here and talk about special teams. I don't give a damn about their kicker, they kick returners, none of that. So, we're talking about offense and defense. And shout out to my boy Jameson Taylor for tapping in. B said Daniel Jones gonna be rattled by Micah first 3 plays, then shell up. There's no AB anymore. Shit. I feel it. All right, so let's take a look back at the statistics that I had. All right. So we already covered, the offense. So for the people that just now sliding in, we covered what they did last year. Right? Yards per game, 18th. Passing yards for the season, 26. Passing yards per game, 26. Rushing yards, 4th. Rushing yards per game, 4th. Points per game, 16th. Right? So they didn't score a lot, and they were not good passing. They went and got Darren Waller. They went and got Paris Campbell. They drafted Hyatt. They got Cole Beasley. They re-signed Darius Slayton. They brought back Shepard. Right? They added passing weapons so they can at least be a middle of the pack passing attack. Right? I'm not saying that they'll jump to a top 10, but damn, can they at least get closer to 4,000 yards? So we know what they struggled in last year. We seen what they tried to do to fix it. So let's go to the other side of the ball now that we got that out the way. Let's talk about the defense for the New York Football Giants. Let's talk about that defense. All right, so overall yards per game, 25th was not great. And listen, I'm actually surprised the New York Giants defense was this weak. I'm not going to lie to you. They allowed 358 yards a game. Passing yards were 14. That's a little bit better. They allowed 214 passing yards per game. But still 14. There's still 13 teams that were better in passing defense. That's included. This one is their Achilles heel. Right? This is what their Achilles heel. Their rushing defense. For as bad as the Dallas Cowboys rushing defense is, for as bad, as we are, they're no better. The New York Football Giants allowed 144 yards per game on the ground. They allowed 144 yards per game on the ground. So I need a little bit more class participation right now, man. So they were ranked 27th. So that means there were 26 teams with a better passing defense. So I need y'all to drop 26 in the chat box, man, right now. We're going to do a little bit more class participation. I need you to drop the 26 in the chat box. So that's how many teams were better against the run than the Giants. Say how many points we score against them? A lot. A lot to a little. But for real, let's go look. All right, so we scored 23 the first game with Cooper Rush, which is very impressive because it's a backup quarterback, and we scored 28 with Dak Prescott. It said T. Richburg dropped to 26, Triple D dropped to 26, Demetrius Adams dropped to 26, Satellite Sonny dropped to 26. Oh, how many yards we rush on them? Let's take a look. Don't trip, I got you, because a lot of this stuff is readily available for us. So team stats. All right, the first game, the Dallas Cowboys rushed for 176 yards. All right, so that's the first game where we went to New York. Now, when we played them in Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys only rushed for 169. So the Dallas Cowboys rushed for over 160 yards both times that we played the Giants. So we beat them up on the ground. We pummeled them boys on the ground. Which is a very fair statement. Joe said it doesn't matter if the Giants are actually good. Divisional games are always tough. Yeah. That is very true. And listen, when you play a team 2 times in a season, for all eternity, you're gonna know them. You know them. That we got the same quarterback, right? We got the same quarterback and head coach that we've had for a long time, right? This is what they fourth year together. The 2020, 2021, yeah, this is their fourth year together. I'm McCarthy got here in 2020. So yeah, not much is gonna change. So we know each other very well, very intimately. Know those other players on the other side of the ball very intimately. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens. But but right, the same thing. In terms of what we looked at on the offense, did they properly go out there and try to improve their Achilles heel? Well, on the offense, they could not pass the ball efficiently, so they added a ton of pass catchers. Hey, thank you, Miss Patrice. I'm proud to be trying to give y'all good information. That's what we here for. So thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. So yeah, so on the offensive side of the ball, they couldn't pass the ball. Right, 15 passing touchdowns from Daniel Jones, and then they were 26 in terms of passing offense. So they went out there, added all those pass catchers, right? They went out there, added a Darren Waller and everybody else under the sun. So let's go and take a look defensively to see, did they add some guys to improve their run defense, right? Let's see, did they add people to improve their run defense, because it was non-existent. It was non-existent. All right, so let's see. 2023 free agent signings by the New York Giants. This is the person I'm looking for. Raheem Nunez Roches. If that name sounds familiar to you, that's because he plays for the Buccaneers. He had been playing for the Buccaneers the last couple seasons. So let's see. So he won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. He's been a Buccaneer since 2018. First came to the league as a 6th-round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's a one-tech, man. He's 6'2", 320 pounds. They brought him in to help solidify that the middle of that defense. Now, is he alone going to turn their entire defense around? Is he good enough? Is he good enough for them? To help them plug the gap, plug the middle, like we're expecting from Monty Smith to do. I don't know. But they at least tried. They tried. They made a conscious effort that they want to go out there, and add, some players to help in their run defense. But listen, it doesn't matter how good you are. If a team can just hand the ball off, and average over 5 yards, and they can get, they're near 200 yards of offense on the ground against you, and not put the ball in harm's way, then you're not going to win too many games, right? That's one of our biggest issues for years. We remember the Ram games from the playoffs. We remember the 49ers game in 2021. We got ran out the field. Ran out the field because we couldn't stop the run. All right, and y'all mentioned that they also added A'Shawn Robinson. A'Shawn Robinson is also a very good player. He's somebody. He's somebody that I like. I wanted us to add him in when we were still in the market for a defensive tackle. But he's another big body. And then they already have, a Leonard Williams who can line up, on the edge and in the middle. They already have a Dexter Lawrence. So, it'll be so they got a very deep defensive tackle room, if I'm not lying to y'all. He said my cousin plays for the Bucks. Now defensive back number 37, Chelsea. He played for the Colts in Cincinnati. Well, hey man, shout out to your cousin. I pray that he continues to have success in the NFL, that he has a long, prosperous career, man. So shout out to you and your kinfolk, man. That's great. I'm happy to hear it, Satellite Sonny. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing we can do because we can't, cleat up and go play, but we will always be informed about the things going on. Know what I mean? So, I'm the person that wants to know the why and the how, over just a result, right? Because I'm the person that even wants to know why the sky is blue. There's a very lots of explanation. You talk about particles, how the sunlight, disperse, ultraviolet rays, and then that's the pigment that you get. There's a very, logical explanation for that. But like some people that look at the sky, it's blue, they just accept it for being blue. Some people want to know the why and the how. So when we do these breakdowns, like of course I believe the Dallas Cowboys can outclass the New York Giants. But I always try and show proper respect for the opponent. Just the same way that our team would when it comes to evaluating personnel and matchups. So that's why we do these breakdowns and these looks. Even if a team is abysmal, right? Even if they're horrible, I still like doing the breakdown, so we'll be well informed going into the game. And then like doing it that way, a lot of times we know more about opposing teams, to their own fan base. Like some of them be deaf, blind, and stupid. They got these slow, big guys trying to chase our speedy backfield. It's going to be an interesting. Yeah. Because listen, Tony Pollard's going to have a good game. Because, I don't necessarily know if they can stop the run week one. Would I bring back Francis Bernard for linebacker depth? I wouldn't mind. Because the Dallas Cowboys are currently planning on playing, another safety at linebacker. So, I wouldn't mind having additional linebacker depth. Yo, Desmond Ironman, what's up with you, man? They've been tapping in and showing love to the channel. He said, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I'm glad that y'all enjoying the breakdown, man. We're going to do these, every week for every opponent. Now, in terms of the Giants, like we're going to talk about this so much you're going to get sick of it. You're going to be ready for us to play the Giants. But there's a lot of stuff, that can go on in between now and then. Their final rosters will be set. We can dissect stuff a little bit further. We can break down the offensive scheme that they run. We can break down, the defensive schemes that they run. We'll have time to to do all that. But right now, we're just breaking down the numbers, right? And I think when we do the film breakdown, I think I want Jay Tuck for that. I think I want to have Jay Tuck on when we do the film breakdown, because that's sort of that kinfolk wheelhouse, and I think that'd be great content. He said, "Roaches, somebody get Ray." Hey, I be thinking about that all the time. But he from Brazil, so like they have, they have different names, so different meanings. You know what I mean? So yeah, they did actually try and fix their run defense. They brought in the Ashawn Robinson and they brought in Raheem Nunez Roches. But right, when you're going into a game, right, first game of the season, the most up-to-date information that you have until they update their resume is what you've seen on film the last time out. And listen, I'm from the show me state. I don't care if you went out there and added the best defensive tackle in football. I don't care if you added the best wide receiver in football. You're gonna actually have to go out there and show me, that you can stop the run. You're gonna actually have to go out there and show me that we can put the ball in. You can put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands and arm and win the game, right? So listen, my primary goal going into this game is still the same. I'm going to run the damn ball, because they have not shown they can consistently stop the run. We got way too many big play runners, right? Tony Pollard, he get a crease, he's gone. Deuce Vaughn, he get a crease, he's gone. I think Rico Dial can be very steady, right? I think we still got a very, a very good rushing attack. So I'm still going to run the ball against them. And we're talking about from a mindset standpoint. I want to build the confidence of Tony Pollard game one. I want Tony Pollard to feel, like, you know, he deserves this job that he can do the job. There's a lot of people have been questioning if, there's a lot of people have been questioning if Tony Pollard can fill the shoe for Ezekiel Elliott. This is opportunity, right? No matter what we feel about not having Zeke on the team, I want Tony Pollard to feel real good about himself for the rest of the season. So I'm going to test that run defense. I'm going to let Tony Pollard do his thing. I'm going to give him the ball, you know, probably 20 times total. It might even be mixed in. It might be 15 runs, a couple screens and a couple passes. But I want him to at least touch the ball 20 times. Build his confidence up. I want Rico Dial to get busy. I want him to get about 12, 14 carries. I want Deuce Vaughn to get some carries. In the red zone, I want to see Dak Prescott get a quarterback keeper. I want to reestablish our identity as a team, that has multiple ways to run the football. But the passing is going to be fine. Like, we got CeeDee Lamb, we got Brandon Cooks, we got Michael Gallup, we got Jalen Tolbert. I think a lot of people now are sold on Jake Ferguson, so we'll have a good passing attack. I'm still going to try and implement this run to get my young running backs comfortable in their new roles, and then I'll play action off of that. I'll set up some stuff, to get them some easy completions, things along those lines. But, I want to lead with the run coming into this game. Later, Cowboys Nation, HTM Sports, sit by a few minutes. Love the channel. Hey, thank you for stopping by and rocking with me, my boy. Thank you for the love, man. I appreciate you. Listen, I got a sweep in the division. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not concerned about nobody in this division. And listen, we're the last team that swept the division. We swept the division in 2021. We can do it again. The last time we had, offensive personnel, around this good, we swept the division. Yeah, we go. Listen, it doesn't even have to be 2 touchdowns. If we go up 10 points, we go up 9 points, where it's a multiple possession game. I think that it makes it hard, on Daniel Jones, right? If the game is close and they're still able to run the ball and stay in the game and keep it close, then it's a harder matchup. But if we jump out to a lead and we're able to move the ball, and say we should be fine. They added a very young, but good corner in Banks. He's a rookie, right? I'm trying to get CeeDee Lamb lined up against that rookie. I'm gonna baptize his ass. I'm gonna welcome him to the NFL. I'm trying to get Brandon Cooks lined up against Adoree Jackson so I can baptize his ass. Right. I'm going to attack these corners because the corners are going to be in a lot of one-on-one situations, because I do plan for us to run the ball. I do plan for us to have opportunities to play action and utilize Yankee concepts for chunk plays. I do expect us to be able to establish a run game so that we're not one-dimensional. So, I can see like 24-10. Really, I can see more like 31 to 14, 31 or 37-17 or something. Like, they're not gonna score a lot of points. I can see us scoring some. I can see us scoring some points. He said 30-16 G, man. Okay, hey, you're very confident in your team. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being confident. I feel we're gonna smack y'all around, but hey, I like the confidence. So yeah, that's what I believe. So coming out the gate, I'm trying to neutralize Saquon Barkley. He's still the best offensive player they got. Right, he's still the best offensive player that they got. So my plan on defense is to neutralize Saquon Barkley regardless. Right, we brought back Jonathan Hankins. We used the first round pick on Mozzie. Right. Oh man, listen. We have not. Dak Prescott has not lost against the New York Giants since 2016. I'm not concerned about the Giants. Satellite Sunday said, "Who are the Giants linebackers?" Let's take a look. So first and foremost, we know that they added Isaiah Simmons, right? So he is going to be one of the linebackers that we do know, and I'm guessing that he's going to stay at his position of linebacker. Okay, so let me see. All right, so weak side linebacker, they have Darian Beavers, Michael McFadden, Cam Brown right now, and Ray Wilborn. Middle linebackers, they got Bobby Kikri, I can't say his name, God forgive me, Carter Coughlin, Deontay Johnson, and then outside linebackers with pretty much edge rushers, Kayvon Thibodeau, O'Shawn Ximenez, Timon Fox. And then of course, that they just made the move to bring in Isaiah Simmons. So those are the current linebackers for the New York Giants. Not sure how many of those guys are actually going to make the team, but those are the guys. Those are the New York Giants linebackers. Granted, I trust. Yeah, Bobby pretty decent. I can't say his name to save my life, but Bobby pretty good. And then they added Simmons, so they got better. They got better linebacking play. So I'm not sure if they'll win. I'm not sure if they can win at the point of attack against us. And listen, we've implemented a new blocking scheme, right? We might be able to get down on them with this zone blocking scheme. Yeah, the defensive backs that they got are not great. Like I say, they got a rookie. So let's take a look at these corners. All right, let's take a look at these corners. Deontay Banks, rookie. Trey Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken, is a rookie. Adoree Jackson, he all right. Let's see. Who this other kid? Amani or Zion Gilbert, Jamon Green. Yeah, they ain't got superb corners. Aaron Robinson, Darren Evans, Cordell Flott. So yeah, they ain't got great corners. At least not yet. The rookie might turn into a great one. No, they might turn to a great one, but Yeah, but listen, I'm gonna say this: Kelvin Joseph is fast, and he always get burnt. At least when he went out there last game that we seen him in the regular season. Because listen, Kelvin Joseph run a 4.3, and he was still letting guys around him. It takes a lot more than just pure athleticism to be a good corner. It's all about your technique, your play recognition, right? So listen, there's not a rookie corner that can stay with a Brandon Cooks or a CeeDee Lamb. Like we're going to go out there with veteran, proven, wide receivers and beat up on these young guys. They know too. Listen, at this point, CeeDee Lamb knows a lot of tricks to the trade. Like he is truly a veteran. Brandon Cook's been playing, since like how many presidents has he played through? Like 2 or 3. He been in the league for a long time. Yeah, they got to cover Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup. Like, good luck. I like the way you put that. Ooh, excuse me. The Lunatic said, I'm gonna put my boy stuff up. New York OC Mike Kafka is an up and coming OC, but you still got Danny turnovers at QB. Cowboys offense start fast and may turn ugly real fast from New York. Yeah, man. I can see it. All I see is the D giving up some touchdowns, Barkley and Jones. That's a long stride in red zone. He's money, no turnovers. He doesn't get turnover because he doesn't throw the ball. Like it's hard to throw interceptions when they don't let you throw the football. And are we sure about the turnovers thing? Let's take a look. How many turnovers did Daniel Jones have in 2022? So Daniel Jones had 8 total turnovers in 2022. So let's see. He only had so he had 5 interceptions and 3 lost fumbles. Well, how many times did he put the ball on the ground? Let's see how many fumbles. Daniel Jones fumbles 2022. All right, so he had 6 fumbles, lost 3, threw 5 interceptions. So that's right. That's 8 turnovers. So not bad. Not bad. Yo, Cowboys Click, what's Gucci, man? They was tapping in and showing love to the channel. We'll see. Coaching ain't the issue for Giants. It's talent for them. Definitely won't be a cakewalk. We come to play. Should be a convincing win for us. Yeah, we still have a more talented team. When you look at the roster, I think most people believe that Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Most people believe, that CeeDee Lamb is better than any wide receiver that they have. Brandon Cook. So, our wide receiving core is better. I definitely believe most people believe we have a better defense. So outside of tight end, right? Outside of tight end and running back, there's no clear victories for the Giants in terms of personnel. Oh, and defensive tackle. Like they do have a better defensive tackle room than us. Dexter Lawrence, a monster. Leonard Williams, a monster. They added Ashawn Robinson, I wanted them. So they got a better defensive tackle room too. So that's 3 positions. I think I'll give the Dallas Cowboys the edge everywhere else. And I think I'm being fair there. So yeah, they got a better tight end in Waller, better running back in Saquon Barkley, better defensive tackles. He said a shot of Henny with Henny. That's what you should call your call-in segment. Hey, I'm sure gonna steal it. Shout out to Satellite Sonny. I'm gonna give you flowers if I do take that. So let me see. Shot of Henny with Henny. See, this shit right itself. Thank y'all. Yeah, listen, they're still gonna probably utilize a very run heavy. He said, is Saquon really better? Yeah, Saquon is. But even last year, because I think Saquon Barkley had to miss games. Even last year, Saquon Barkley, 1,312 yards rushing, average 4.4 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns. And then that's not even including his passing totals. So receiving wise, he also added in 338 yards. So Tony Pollard had about 1,300 yards, a little bit over 1,300 yards total between passing and rushing. This boy had about a little bit over 1,600. So right now, I still get the edge to Saquon. But, Tony Pollard is definitely on the come up. I'll give Tony Pollard this year to prove it. I'll give Tony Pollard this year to prove it. All right, so what's y'all questions about the New York Giants? So I'm gonna have to see it with Darren Waller. Don't have Dabo got something cooking. J-Run match up well against him. Yeah, listen, J-Run Curse has matched up well against better tight ends. We seen him, against Ertz, against Dallas Goedert, against Kittle, Kelsey. He's always up for the challenge. Okay, all right. So I got another question for y'all, and this is gonna be based on this question by this statement by my boy the Lunatic. He said, with our wide receivers, I want 11 personnel, but think Ferguson and Schoon going to be solid 12 group, and 12 is better mismatch. Let me ask y'all a question. As of right now, today, August the 25th at 5:04 p.m., is Schoonmaker tight end 2 or is Peyton Hendershot? Has Schoonmaker done enough for you to jump over Peyton Hendershot, who actually has NFL reps? Let me know. Are you more comfortable starting with Ferg and Henny, or are you more comfortable starting with Ferg and Schoon? Let me ask you, because I'm sort of still leaning toward Hendershot right now. Very well put. Very well put. No, but he will be tight end too. Politics. I mean, the man was a second round pick. Jared Morrison asked, am I a Giants fan? No. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. We're talking about the Giants because they're a week 1 opponent. We're doing an early look at the New York Giants. We're doing an early look. It said Mike said Schoon can block. He can. Listen, I'll never sit here and downplay Schoon blocking ability. He can block his ass off. Him and McKeon definitely can block. They can move some boards around. He said Ferguson and Hendershot. I would start with all reliable. That is, I don't want to just give it. It said, okay, good. That blue and red colors on your title screen caught off guard. Yeah, I put the blue and red because we were playing the Giants. I had the Giants over there on the red. I had us by the blue. But hey, thank you for tapping in and showing love, Mr. Morris, and I appreciate you. For week 1, you think TP had 25 rush attempts or more like 20? I think it would be more like 25 touches if he were to get 25 of anything. Right, I think it'll be more like 25 touches. Because one, we also got to remember TP is a home run hitter. So, he'll mess around and break a couple 20-yard runs here and there, 15-yard runs. So I don't think, that he'll have to be on the field that often to be successful as a runner. You know what I mean? Because if he only gets, let's say if we give him 2 carries on a drive, but he takes one for a 30-yard touchdown, it's going to limit the amount of time you actually give him the ball, right? So that factor in with the fact That factored in with the fact that we are more of a running back by committee kind of team. Even when we had Ezekiel Elliott, I don't really see him getting too many carries. I think he get the normal amount. He said, yeah, for carries, yeah. You also got to remember, though, this is a West Coast offense. They will utilize Tony Pollard a little bit more in the passing game. So Tony Pollard, there's a possibility for him to get 25 touches, but I don't think he'll get 25 carries, if that makes sense to y'all. So I think that they'll throw him the ball and they'll also handle the ball, and that will equate to about 25 touches. But I don't think that he'll run the ball 25 times. Nah. The last time that we didn't play in the preseason and we actually had a good offensive personnel on the roster, we played very well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021. The reason that we struggled out the gate last year is because Dennis Houston and Noah Brown were your starting wide receivers. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it all the way funky. Like, these guys they are playing against other. Nah, so you keep saying that sort of already tells me you're actually a Giants fan. You just didn't want to come out and say that. Oh, we wasn't going to remove you. You can bang your set or whatever, because you ain't got to perpetrate. But yo, man, I've been on here for an hour and some change, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for showing love. I don't really know if I'm gonna go live again today. I may, if there's anything. Kinfolk, Noah Brown sucked for y'all. Noah Brown up here, still letting ball bounce off his chest. Right? What was your excuse? What's been the excuse for the Texans for never being shit? What's the excuse for the Texans for never being shit? Because y'all had Mr. Nasty Man, Deshaun Watson. Y'all didn't go to no championship game. That man won one playoff game. You had the Andre Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you, man, what did y'all do with the team that y'all had? All right, but yeah, dogs, I'm out. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the love. On the way out, continue to hit that like button, continue to hit that share button, and continue to hit that super chat and super stickers or the cash app so you can get an opportunity to win this Dallas Cowboy jacket or pullover, man. But thank you for the love. Thank you for, the support. Thank y'all for rocking.